What is the iron law of wages? Have you ever wondered why wages seem to stay low, even when the economy is doing well? The iron law of wages might help explain this puzzling situation. This economic theory suggests that, over time, wages tend to settle at the minimum level needed for workers to survive and reproduce. In simpler terms, workers earn just enough to cover basic living expenses and raise children to maintain the workforce. The iron law of wages was named by Ferdinand Lassalle, a notable German socialist thinker from the 19th century. He built on ideas from earlier economists like David Ricardo and Thomas Malthus. Lassalle argued that under capitalism, workers are caught in a cycle where they cannot permanently raise their living standards through wage increases alone. When wages rise above the subsistence level, more people can afford to have children. This leads to an increase in the labor supply, which eventually drives wages back down. On the flip side, if wages drop below the subsistence level, fewer workers can afford to support families. This reduction in the labor supply pushes wages back up. This cycle keeps wages hovering around the minimum necessary for survival. Lassalle used this theory to highlight the exploitation inherent in capitalism. He pointed out that capitalists pay workers only what is necessary for survival, while they keep the surplus value produced by labor for themselves. This means that workers do not receive a fair share of the wealth they create. From a socialist viewpoint, the iron law of wages shows why wage labor under capitalism cannot provide workers with a decent standard of living. It emphasizes the need for a change in how production is owned and controlled. Lassalle believed that, if workers own the means of production, they could break free from this cycle and improve their living conditions. In practical terms, the iron law of wages explains why increases in productivity do not always lead to lasting wage gains for workers. Temporary wage increases often get offset by population growth or increased competition for jobs. This reinforces the idea that simply fighting for higher wages within the capitalist system may not be enough. Understanding the iron law of wages helps us see the challenges workers face in improving their lives. It also highlights the arguments made by early socialist thinkers like Ferdinand Lassalle, who sought to change the system to benefit the workers themselves.